Hello and welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey guys.
If you're new to the show, each week we collect video game news and stories from around the internet and bring it to you for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the show on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher for audio versions, YouTube and VidMe for video versions. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at IRGames. Stay up to date on all the stuff we're doing.
Boom.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Finally got it.
First try.
First try.
First
Definitely,
try. Don't worry
not,
about the other takes.
I was into this. James,
It's good.
there was about jack squat for news this week. if I'm
There
being honest
was
with you.
it was a quieter week.
It was a dig.
It was
Also,
a tough
last
one.
week was a quieter week because I went into last week's news on other stuff, and
Right.
things are kind of like,
What?
yeah.
I mean, we had the one thing we aren't really going to talk about tonight just because we're not big fans of it, but Kingdom Hearts 3 had a trailer at D23 last week, and everyone got all excited about it because they finally got a release date, 2018. We have a year, so that's awesome. We're not Kingdom Hearts fans. We wouldn't do any justice talking about it, but it happened.
Kingdom
And
Hearts.
So
It's
there you
always
go.
one of those things that I've been like, I kind of want to play that, and then I hear about it, I'm like, I kind of don't want to play that.
Yeah, they have a nice remaster of all the games up to
I
date
heard about that.
before like the 2.8 prologue or prelude or prelude.
Prelude?
Yeah, it could be one of those
Prologue?
words. Prologue.
Is it before or after?
No idea. I don't understand
We'll call
the
it a
naming
prelogue
convention.
and a postlude.
So I want to check it out, but it's like 6 games. It's like, man, I already have a backlog,
long games.
and those are long games. So
Not necessarily games we
I
want to
don't
play,
know,
but games
but-
we do want to play and love playing.
that's right.
Dying Light. So, Polish developer Techland has kept Dying Light community very healthy since it launched. Game launched 3 years ago.
Woo.
Can you believe that?
Has it been that long?
3 years ago.
That's crazy.
It's been a minute. We love this game. We played the crap out of this game. When it launched, they had about 700,000 players per week.
Mhm.
And even still, there's about 500,000 players per week. This
Yeah.
isn't gonna work. Now I've lost my place because I looked at my timer. But they have announced plans to release more free content on all platforms the next 12 months.
Yep.
So there will be 10 drops that include new enemies, in-game events, mysteries, and more.
Yep.
So, did you check out my question mark?
I did not.
Maybe I didn't. Oh, well, it's down further. So, because they showed these boxes, you can go to the link we have in the description below and
Yeah.
look at it. They had these boxes. It was like new enemies, new in-game events, new mysteries, and a question mark.
Yeah. Like,
Neat.
I don't know. I mean, we were really close to the platinum. We stopped.
We stopped short because just
There was a couple of them that were going
Something
to be
came
so tedious, and
Yeah.
something else came up, and we wanted to move on from the game.
Destiny came up.
I think that must have been what it was. Yeah, because Destiny was September that year.
We didn't get this at launch and didn't start like immediately playing it.
Yeah,
either.
I think we just Destiny had a content update, and we went back to that.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It's a great game. It's really good open world combat, really good system that they had going on. Great parkour, great navigating the environment, things like that. It's very fun.
Yeah.
This right here is like, it's just a regular screenshot, but we've got the mission that they've got described here. You know, sneak close to a bolter during the
So
night and get
dumb.
a tissue sample. I can't tell you how hard that mission was. Like,
this was the mission that I was stuck on
it
when
made
you and I
me
started playing together.
physically nauseous. Like when we started playing together, I caught all the way up to him at this point because he just physically couldn't get past it.
Yeah, I just
This is
stopped.
so
and
stupid.
We loaded up
Oh.
on your profile and just played through the beginning again. Every mission we started. Hey, you've already played this. Are you sure you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Yes, I do because I love
The
this
way
game.
they did co-op was really cool in that you could play with other people and it wouldn't affect
Yeah.
your story unless you were already that far. So it gave us a lot of freedom to play it. But the DLCs really sounds cool. I don't know how my thing is like, how much are we going to see? Is it going to be like 2 or 3 very small new things in each DLC pack?
Yeah.
Like how much is it going to give you 20 minutes to do? Is it going to give you like 2 or 3 hours?
How much of this is for lapsed players and how much of this is for the hardcore audience
right?
that has been playing since it came out and has kept playing?
Right, and especially like with the following DLC that came
Yeah.
out that we didn't get, and the enhanced edition and all that stuff with it. So I'm really interested. It may be one that like I wait for like a few months of the drop and then go do them all at once or something.
Yeah.
If there's in-game events, maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm not complaining because it is free. We don't have
Yeah.
to pay for it. They're just doing it because they want to do it, and that's really cool. And more developers should take note of that. That being said, I'm not sure if I'm like super like ready to go reinstall it. And
Yeah, it's
do
not
that
one of those
kind
things.
stuff.
Like I haven't been looking for a reason to go back to Dying Light. I am not looking for a reason not to, but just the
Yeah.
way we've played games for a long time, and especially the way we play games now.
Yeah.
Needing kind of trying to be on the front edge of everything is like we don't hang around for 3 years waiting for new content
Yeah.
to show up for old games.
Exactly.
I think it's really cool. I think it's pretty awesome that a game that people didn't necessarily think was going to do well
Mhm.
is still, pulling in 500,000 players per week.
It is impressive. I'm kind of surprised at that number, that there hasn't been a huge decline. I know that they have a lot of cool stuff in it, but eventually you run out of game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know it's big open world. There's lots of stuff to do, but so I don't know. It's interesting. I kind of want to go back and play it some more, just for almost the nostalgia, which sounds weird because
so
it was only a
fun,
couple
though.
years ago. It was so much more fun.
We just spent so much time in that
playing
world.
it together.
Yeah.
And it was just so well done with the co-op. It was just fun to do. Together.
Leveling in that game was so much fun. It was
Yep.
easy to do. It was really rewarding because like you got rewarded for playing the game.
Right.
So you're running, you're jumping on stuff, you're watching your little running level go up, you're fighting enemies, you're watching your combat level go up. It's just super cool. I love the way they did it. A concern that might tie into be ridiculous with a topic coming up is that does this mean that we're not going to see Dying Light 2
right
within the next few years?
That's
If they're working on content for Dying Light 1.
I mean, I would have to assume they're different teams because it almost
You'd think-
always is with stuff. You know, right after Destiny came out, we know that they had a separate team for the DLC, and then
Yeah.
we had a separate team for the Destiny 2. There's no way that they created Destiny 2 in a year with the same team that did Rise of Iron, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not how it works. So I think that's part of it, is just we just don't know what it is in the game developing world for something like that.
Yeah, I think they've got it. I mean, they've got a big enough team. They've done plenty of games, so there's probably enough work on it. I just know if like the Dying Light team is the Dying Light team
Right.
and whatever. I don't know how that works, but that's actually a topic that's getting ready to come up.
That's true. So I mean, overall,
next.
I think I'll probably reinstall it.
Yeah.
As I know I just said that I wasn't going to, but just even looking at these screenshots of it, it's like I would like
just
to.
reminds you of playing
I'd
it
like to
and
probably
spending that
do it
time.
again. I mean, I think it'd be fun. I
Really
think it'd
immersive
be,
world.
yeah. It was a
Yeah.
really cool, just the way you navigate the world and stuff. It was just fun and also very terrifying at times. Like, I was horrified in the night sequences, and I drastically avoided all of them unless I was playing with Jake. And even then, ugh, it was really
Even then, it
just
was still
get to
kinda
a safe
iffy.
zone, like, because it's just hard.
I know.
So
So moving on,
Mhm.
put in a time thing. Friday the 13th team is moving on.
maybe,
Technically not.
supposedly,
I wanted to say it
it's
just because now we've said it.
they've abandoned
Um,
the game.
They have abandoned Friday the 13th.
stop
It's
playing.
over. They gave up on it. It was a failure.
Just
They're
leave.
Moving on. Not worth it.
Yep.
Friggin' Dead by Daylight already exists.
Yeah. So why
Got
fix
it.
this one?
Recently, developer Ilphonic was accused of abandoning its somewhat controversial Friday the 13th.
Oh,
the
their name
game.
is Ilphonic.
Pretty sure.
That's a stupid name.
I might be
That's-
saying it wrong, and
that
I
bodes-
apologize if I am Ilphonic. You can put in the comments below and correct me. Moving on
Ilphonic.
to their next IP, Dead Alliance. So, according to Eurogamer, quote, the news has sparked fears Ilphonic will neglect Friday the 13th, meaning the bugs and issues the game has had since launch may not be fixed, despite the fact the developer assured it would continue to update and add content.
Mhm.
So, this is a thing that happens with like every game, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, developer announces they're working on a new IP. Wait a minute, you just launched this old one and it doesn't work, especially with something like Friday the 13th.
It's a
It's
lot
been
of
like-
bugs.
This doesn't really work, and it's not
Right.
fun if you're not playing with friends or whatever. If you're playing it, let us know. We haven't played it because it's just not something that's
Mhm.
really in our wheelhouse.
Exactly.
But it does kind of scare people,
Oh yeah.
not necessarily the way that this does, but it makes people nervous when you say,
I do
"We're moving on
feel
to a new
nervous
game."
just sitting next to this right now.
I know. It's a little like menacing over the shoulder
Hey,
there.
at least he's not looking at you. Ugh.
Yeah. So Tuesday, Ilphonic released a statement to Eurogamer saying that the production of Dead Alliance started before Friday the 13th.
Yep.
So nothing's actually being shifted.
Yeah, I saw they actually like tweeted it out. I think too. They quoted like one of the articles that was talking about it and said basically the same thing. It's an overreaction. This is how game development works. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a different team, a different system, different everything, and you can't expect them to only be working on one thing. You think when Naughty Dog launched Uncharted 4 that everyone just stopped and they decided not to make DLC and they just
Looks good.
they moved on to Last of Us 2. Like, that's not how it works, right? They've got the Uncharted Lost Legacy stuff coming out.
Yep.
And they've got it set up that way because you can't just be a successful studio by putting out one game every 5 years because all of your team only focuses on one thing. That's not how it works.
No.
Granted, Ilphonic is not what you would call a huge, like, major AAA studio or anything like that, but I'm sure it works much the same way. Even maybe even more so with small studios because you can't count on every game being a hit. So
Yeah.
you got to have something in your back pocket, which enter Dead Alliance. You know, different kind of game, different everything. And so I get the concern because they've had issues since launch, and especially the console versions. Like PlayStation has improved, but the Xbox version apparently is almost as bad
Yeah.
as it
Every time I
was
hear
when it
about this
launched.
game, I just hear garbage
Yep.
about it.
I do.
So
So
it's one of those things. I think
hmm
one of my thoughts is maybe it's a reaction of gamers are informing themselves more. Gaming
yeah.
news and media is more accessible than ever, and so they're seeing these
hmm
things when what used to only be known to the IGNs of the world, and they
Right.
would report on some of it. This wouldn't be news that's worth putting on the front page of IGN.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're working on the development of the next game. Cool.
Well, I mean,
But now it's like
yeah.
somebody said something. It's on all the sides, and everybody's like, oh, wait, no, this game's broken. You can't just move on. It's like, well,
Yeah.
we're not moving on. We're moving on. But
Well, I think when Twitter has become such a big news source, like
yeah,
even more so than just a few years ago, them like replying to a tweet from one of the big, game journal companies, it's like that makes news. That itself is a news article that wrote itself.
yeah,
And whereas 5 years ago, you don't have that interaction with game developers, you don't have that avenue. So I think that's part of it. But it's just the thing that sucks is that they built this game up and it was supposed to compete with Dead by Daylight and it was supposed to give you it's like Dead by Daylight, but Friday the 13th because you know that and you love that franchise and it's like this thing that you can do. And then it came out super buggy and they kind of under delivered on what they wanted.
it was teased a long time
th-
ago too.
Right. I mean, you would think that they had enough time. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we're not game developers. We don't know that
No.
kind of thing. But you would think they would have had enough time to get it ready to go. So it's concerning the fact that not only is it still broken, but it doesn't seem like there's anything on the horizon
Not getting fixed very
for
quickly.
it. It's slow. They say they keep giving lip service, I think, at this point. And so the developers, there's been an overreaction, but they need to respond and fix things fast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just lip service at this point. And
It's
I think
true.
that's the concern that fans are having, that I would be having if I was a fan.
Yeah.
Personally,
We really dug into this game, but we
I don't
didn't
like
really-
buggy games. Like
I don't either.
I just don't. And
I don't really put up with
especially
that.
in a multiplayer game, you've got Jason's lagging all over the place. He gets stuck in animations, but it doesn't look like he's stuck. And people are clipping through walls and like basic stuff, like alpha gameplay stuff. Right? We saw pre-alpha of this game like a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and it looked almost better than this.
Yeah.
So it's sad. Some people enjoy it. We have some friends that enjoy it. They say if you go out and play it with friends, it's better.
Yeah, but that runs into the same trap that like Evolve ran into.
Yeah.
These kind of asymmetrical multiplayer games is just
Yeah.
like they're just more fun to play with your friends because you strategize with your other friends
Yeah.
in the game. But
Getting in there
Yeah.
with random people, it's
So-
not as good.
we want to see people do well. Want to see games do well. Just hope Ilfonic kind of
Yeah.
gets on the front of this and starts like, oh hey, we fixed all these things in the game and
Yeah.
now it's great and everybody loves it.
It'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
So
Always good to see.
that's the rub going forward with it for sure.
So you mentioned Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
The original 1996 Crash Bandicoot had a
Mhm.
level that in it so hard the developer deemed it too difficult for human consumption.
Ooh, those are strong words.
Yeah, coming from a game that's already as difficult. I don't know if any of you have picked up Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. Oops, happened in the wrong spot. You may not have played it as much when you were a kid. I didn't play a ton when I was younger.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
neither.
have it, but now that I'm playing it, I realize Crash Bandicoot's really hard.
It is.
And so to have a level that they thought was too difficult is impressive to me. The level is Stormy Ascent. It's roughly
Stormy-
4 times the size of the average Crash level.
It's insane because some of those levels are large, especially with like the side-scrolling ones as opposed to the
Yeah,
now those side-scrolling ones can be pretty long.
because they're you can go a long ways this way, and then you also go vertically.
Yeah.
And then there's some that do a little bit of both. Like you go sideways, and then you got to go forward and
Right.
backwards, and it's crazy hard. But
I got
sorry,
you.
I'm on a different thing. Stormy Ascent is available for free in Europe and North America through the 19th of August. So this is coming out on the 27th of July.
Mhm.
You have some time to get it. If you want to play this for free, download it now. But if you don't, no worries. Still available for $3.
Right.
So
Exactly.
not a huge loss if you miss it. If you come back to it, you haven't gotten Insane Trilogy yet, I would recommend you get it. It is fun. I
Mhm.
would also recommend you start with Crash 2. Because it's
Unless
a
you have a nostalgia factor.
yeah, if
There's
you
a
have the
difference
nostalgia
there.
factor for it, start with Crash 1 and realize how either A, good at games you used to be, or B, how hard Crash has always been.
Yeah.
But start with Crash 2. But the level designer, Taylor Kurosaki,
There you go.
said, quote, "It was one of the last levels I finished during production. As we prepared to deliver our Gold Master to Sony for manufacturing, the decision was made to cut it." Can you imagine?
I mean,
How absolutely gut wrenching that must have been.
it's awful because he's like, I just did that one, guys. I just did it. Oh, it's really hard though.
Yeah, somebody like, where was the playthrough? And I'm just kind of curious. Maybe it was like a deadline thing.
Yeah.
They were like, somebody play tested the level,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, dude, like this game's hard,
No.
but bro, this is way too hard. And I kind of wonder where the decision came to, instead of maybe like nerf the level a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
to just cut it entirely.
Yeah, that would. That's a pretty big one. I just maybe I don't know. There's not really a good reason for it. It's just
I know.
like maybe they were crushed on time or something, and it wasn't up to their lofty standards. I don't know. So it's interesting. I think it could be fun, just from a let's play thing of like.
I think we should do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we will. It'll be cool. It'll be really difficult. It'll be like controller throwing Fury, I'm sure.
Maybe one of those trade-off.
Like most of
games
those are.
we do.
Yeah, yeah, like
Like Super
snapping
Meat Boy.
controller, that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll definitely check it out. It's free, like you said, until August 19th. You can go download it. I downloaded it today
I know,
on
I
the
can still get
PlayStation
it.
Store. It's one of the add-ons. It's not like a standalone game or anything.
Yeah, so you have to have the game.
Mhm.
But if
Again,
you don't have the game,
not a
would
huge
recommend you
surprise.
get it.
Yeah,
just because it's fun.
right. Exactly.
Moving on.
Moving on up.
Moving on up. PlayStation Plus, free games for this month.
All right,
Ba-da-bop.
what's leading us
Cut
off
to the
here?
band. Leading to the band. PlayStation Plus, August 2017. Just Cause 3.
Boom.
Boom. This was one of those games.
Explosive.
So we talked about not liking buggy games earlier. This is one of those games that was also plagued with bugs when it came out.
Yes, it was.
And I wanted to play it. We watched some videos on it. And I was like, that game looks really fun. I want to play it. But everything I read about it was like, this game is really buggy, and I would wait till it's fixed.
Yeah.
And it just took so long for it to get fixed that other stuff came out, and I never got it.
Yeah. I was doing some reading on it, and it looks like they fixed a lot of the concern and issues around it were frame rate issues in really like high scenes, right? And really important things, and a lot of stuff going on, and your frame rate comes down a little bit. Some of them were issues with the PS4 Pro, some where the boost mode wasn't quite great, the newer feature they have. But it seems like a lot of the stuff has been ironed out. If you guys play Just Cause 3 and that's not the case, let us know. But I'm really excited. This is a AAA, gorgeous title. Ton of open world stuff to do, a lot of creativity involved, and it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Huge.
It's
one of the better
I've
watched
watched the fun videos
on
and all
PlayStation
this
Plus
stuff, like, because it's a fully destructible environment.
Oh yeah, and you
Like-
can like attach a rocket pack to a cow and then shoot them off into the sky and tie them to a windmill. I don't even know.
Have you seen the ones
There's so
that, like,
many-
hook 'em to the windmill and just
So
whips
many
'em
really
around?
cool things. It looks cool. So I'm curious just to get it, see if it's really as bad as everyone says it is. I can't wait to get it next week.
I think
That'll
it'll
be
be
really fun.
Also for the PS4, we have Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, which is standalone DLC for Black Flag.
Yeah.
I never saw anything about this. I've never gotten Assassin's Creed DLC.
Yeah.
Those games feel really complete on their
Right.
own, for
Exactly.
the most part.
So it's standalone, so you don't have to have Black Flag. It doesn't have any connection to the
For those
story,
of you like me, you had Black Flag on PS3.
right? So it doesn't have any connection to the story or anything like that. It's just a standalone thing.
Yep.
PS3 and PS Vita all had titles because they always do. PS3, Super Motherload and Snakeball. I don't know anything about those.
I don't either.
I've heard
Ball sounds
Super
like it's gonna be awful.
Motherload. Yeah, Snakeball sounds
That
cheap.
sounds terrible.
And then, what would you look
Well, I'm
like?
looking at Downwell. I've heard about this. It's a cross-buy
Downwell,
game
yep.
for Vita and PS4, so
Mhm.
you'll see us playing this game.
Yep.
Downwell is a roguelike vertically scrolling shooter platform video game developed by Moppin and published by Devolver Digital.
That was basically an entire series of buzzwords.
So that was an entire series of adjectives. But Devolver Digital,
impressive.
we know them. They've
Yep.
done several games that we always forget when we talk about Devolver Digital.
Yeah, they're good stuff. So I'm excited. Also for PS Vita, level 22, not cross-buy with PS4. So there's only 3 on the PS4 if you guys are focused on that console only.
But Just Cause 3 is definitely one of those games. That's a seller for PlayStation Plus
Yeah.
right there. Because PlayStation Plus costs $50 now? Or is it $60 now?
I think it's 60
It's 60
a year.
now. But I mean, you pay $60, you basically just bought Just Cause 3, and you get Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry and all
Right.
this other stuff. So,
So
if
now
you're on PS
granted,
Plus,
yeah, if you go actually try and find it at sale, it's cheaper, but
yeah, but
point still stands.
we've gotten a lot of great games from PlayStation Plus over the years.
It's getting better. It's
so-
improving. A couple other things in PlayStation Plus this month. I like that they're starting to add more stuff. They've got 6 weeks of 99-cent movie rentals, different
Woohoo.
movie every week. So that'll be cool. There's a couple I'm interested in. For free to play, there's one called Dreadnought. Don't know what it is, but it launches in open beta on August 1st. All PlayStation Plus members get a certain kind of pack free, Ravenswood Plus. I don't know. So new free to play game. Those are always kind of fun to check out. Another weird one, Doom. You guys haven't checked out Doom yet. It's playable for free from July 27th to the 30th.
If you're good, you can beat the whole game in that thing.
Right now, go get the game, and then if you've played through it and really love it, it's half off next week.
There you go.
So through
They've
August
just released free multiplayer stuff, didn't they?
I think they did.
I think we might have talked about it on the show.
We may have. So that's pretty cool. That's another thing to do if you like that. So a couple extra things for PlayStation Plus this month. Not
Indeed.
just the 2 PlayStation 4 games.
Yeah, so PlayStation Plus for PS4 is great. Things that were not so great, Pokemon Go Fest.
Ooh.
So this event was just such an unfortunate disaster of an event.
Not entirely
on
unforeseen.
multiple fronts. And not unforeseen based on the issues that Pokemon Go has been plagued with since launch.
Yeah.
But Niantic just got put to it
They got
this last
pwned.
weekend, man.
They got pwned.
They came out and they worked with wireless carriers before they did this event. Like, hey, this is what's happening. These are about how many people we think are going to be here.
Yep.
Be prepared for that to cover all this stuff. Sprint had made the effort,
Yes.
and the others did not.
Correct.
So there was connection issues on the wireless carrier side, and then there were just Niantic issues on the other side.
Yeah, Niantic had they came out with a blog post. I think it was yesterday or the day before, but he laid it all out there and he said, "Look, these are 2 things that we had on the server side that we had to fix that went wrong, and here is something else on the game side that we had to fix that we did that." And he's like, and those were our fault, and we didn't see that coming, and they fixed it. And they told us what they were.
Yep.
Awesome. Then they said they talked to the carriers, and they said some of the carriers didn't think they would need extra equipment. Sprint did think they need extra equipment, so they brought it in.
Probably a good call.
It's called a COW, or cellular on wheels. Bring it in just basically helps to deal with the extra congestion on the network and stuff. And they said that Sprint was just as busy as any of the other networks, but it actually held up pretty well, and they had better success. Sprint also had Wi-Fi there for their customers, so that's an option. Verizon, actually, they came out and basically blamed Niantic and said, "Oh, well, internet on people's phones was still working, so it was obviously Pokemon Go stuff." And like a ton of people have come out against Verizon and like, "No,
bad looks, Verizon.
No, it's not the case. Like they couldn't get on Reddit or Facebook or Snapchat or anything. Like the internet was just not working because there's millions of people down there. I can't even imagine how many people there were.
Like all the people that are already in that area of Chicago,
just in general,
plus all the Pokemon Go people.
Exactly. So Niantic has apologized profusely. They refunded the tickets for the event. They gave people $100 of Pokecoins, the in-game currency. They even gave them legendary Pokemon for being there because they couldn't do a lot of the things they wanted to do. So I think they're good.
Yeah,
I'm happy with the response.
Made all the right moves in that event. They had the personalities they had on stage. It was really super cringy to watch.
Yeah,
the personalities try and handle it, and I don't necessarily think they did anything wrong. But I mean, what do you do when you're standing there on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people that are mad at you for something that you have no control over?
Yeah,
you got to try and stay positive and whatever. It just was hard to watch. But then the Niantic folks come out. He goes, "Hey, we found the things. We're working on it. We are so sorry.
Yeah,
we didn't think this would be an issue, but these things popped up this morning.
Yep,
and we're trying to fix it. And so I think they handled it really well. I hope that this doesn't necessarily stick with them, but man, they could have used anything to happen but this.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. They responded, like you said, about as well as they could have, but man, I mean, they had a bunch of it was a really cool idea because you had 2 phases of this, right? You had these people coming in to Grant Park there in Chicago and say, do these things, right? Capture these Pokemon, and if you hit this number, then you'll get an extra bonus, not just for you, for everyone around the world. And then us, other people worldwide, during certain times, we caught Pokemon. And if you catch this many number of Pokemon, then those bonuses that the Grant Park people unlocked would extend for more days. So it was a cool way for everyone to participate and feel like they contributed. So if we got enough Pokemon to extend it to the max amount, it was going to then unlock a special event for the people in Chicago to do. If the people in Chicago finished that event, then that event would shoot out to the rest of the world, which are now we know the legendary raids with Lugia and now Articuno, the Mystic Gym bird. So that was really cool. It's a really creative idea, and in theory, it would have been pulled off really well.
Would have been really cool.
So they had a ton of bonuses going on that's actually going to end tonight. But it was
tonight
like,
as of recording, or tonight as
no,
of
tonight is when you guys are watching
Alright,
it. So if
cool.
you guys are watching this during the daytime, you still got time. They have like the egg distance has been cut by, it's like a third now. So your
Oh, nice.
2K eggs you can now get done in 0.7. Your 10K eggs are like 3.3K. You had like double candy and like double spawns and double XP on everything, double stardust. This is awesome. It's really cool. It actually got us to play a lot more this week just because, well, double everything. Sure, I
Why
can
not?
do that. So they had a bunch of good ideas with this event. It just went horribly wrong in every other aspect
just-
of it.
Everything that could
It's
go wrong
sad.
did go wrong,
It's
with the
sad.
exception of the whole event blowing up in the middle of Chicago.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I really do.
I do too. I watched the video, and we're in the internet generation of people who are like, oh, blah, 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 terrible Niantic, blah, screw them, blah. It's like, well, no, they handled it really well, and
Yeah.
I just imagine Pokemon Go, excuse me, has taken off more than they had dreamed it would when they started it.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard to handle with a smaller team.
Exactly.
So props to them for how they handled it. Hopefully their next event goes much, much better than this event did.
Yep.
Because it would be hard for it to go worse.
Yeah, they're having more events. I don't think there's any more planned in the U.S. right now. There's some going on over in Europe, some Safari Zone stuff, which harkens back to some of the early games
Talking to me.
where they talked about it. So that'll be cool. I just, man, hope it goes better.
I do as well.
If you were in Chicago and you got to experience all this, let us know what it was like. Was it really as bad as everyone says it was? Was it because they say like a lot of people got through, but a lot of people didn't? So,
Yeah.
are we
listening
talking
to a
like
vocal
50-50
minority,
or was it like 90-10? I'm curious. So if
Yeah.
you guys were there, let us know.
Yes, sir. And now we come to let's rewind just a touch. Now we come to the traditional end of points of interest, where we go over the drop. We have cool graphics and everything.
Fancy graphics.
Boom. What do we
Boom.
got that piques your interest?
All right, so I'm
Mr.
gonna
James.
skip past the title one because that one comes down way later in the list.
Indeed, it does.
Active Soccer 2 DX, obviously exciting top-down arcade football game providing a fast-paced arcade experience. Arcade.
Boy. So remember when I said the news wasn't like amazing this week? Take everything that wasn't amazing about the news, put it in the drop, but less. There's just not a ton going on. Only a healer, or a healer only lives twice. This does kind of sound somewhat interesting. Monsters have cornered you in the dungeon corridors. As a newly hired priest, your duties are to use your magical abilities to heal your comrade, a knight on the front line, and provide support during battle. Will these two brave souls live to see the light of day again?
Uh,
I don't really know what that
I don't
means
know.
you're doing.
I don't
is this like a
understand.
top-down fun blah blah blah? Or
Right.
is this like a first-person 3D RPG? I don't know anything about this game.
I don't know. It's
the
weird.
initial concept of it sounds kind of cool,
It does sound.
but
sound
the execution of it, I'd imagine,
Not
is going
awful.
to be aggressively average at best.
yeah, I'm looking through like screenshots of it. Oh man, I think it might be turn-based.
Oh, disgusting.
Oh,
Never mind. Don't get it.
no, I
Don't
hope
bother.
not.
Unless turn-based is your thing, in
Oh,
which case,
That looks
sorry,
gross.
you're not gonna get
No
endorsements
thanks. I
from
could
us.
be wrong, but yeah. All right, moving on. What do you see? What do you got?
Avon Colony? Avon Colony? Build a new home for humanity in Avon Colony. Discover Avon Prime, an alien planet of deserts, tundras, and wetlands light years from Earth. Build your colonies into massive, sprawling cities while dealing with challenges faced when settling on a new world.
Bleh.
Blech. Gross.
Blah blah blah. Anime.
You say like the anime games have just super crazy art.
The one I'm most interested in is Fortnite. This one came out yesterday.
Out in
2 days
is it like
ago.
out now, or
It's-
it's still
well,
out
it's-
in early access?
It's quote unquote early access. So
paid early access.
yeah, so
you
you'll get
might add.
excited because it'll be like free to download, and you're like, oh sweet, and then you go through like 5 hours of downloading, and then go to play, and it's like, oh, you need like
You need
a
the pass to
you need
play.
a starter pack, and so then you look at the starter packs, like the cheapest one was like $40. So
Who developed Fortnite? I'd
so
like to speak to them directly, please.
Epic Games.
Epic
Epic
Games?
Games may just be the publisher, but
let's have a chat. If you're gonna have to pay for it,
welcome to
just
the chat.
put that on the store. Like,
Why
this
let me
isn't a hard
download it?
concept. Why go through the process of downloading it?
Well-
While a lot of us still have, like, we have good internet. You and I have relatively good internet.
Right.
But there's a lot of places out there that don't. We have a good buddy, Duff. Shout out, bro. whose internet is not fantastic. He spent 5 hours downloading this game, and if we hadn't texted him beforehand, he would have experienced the same disappointment as us, but with a lot more time investment.
It's true. And
Like-
probably a little more murder.
Yeah, a lot more murder. I guarantee it, because he already lives in Arizona, which is a terrible place to live and makes you angry. Just put the price tag on the store. Come on, guys. Like, this isn't a hard thing.
I get it, because when it eventually releases like full on, not early access, it's going to be free to play. So what they're doing now, it's kind of like a beta, but you're paying and you get
Beta.
in, and yeah, I mean it's basically just a convenient way to raise money to finish your game. But outside of all of the discussion
Outside
of
of
that,
the dumb.
it looks really interesting. It's a large, destructible world. No two games are ever the same. You build forts, craft exotic weapons, find loot, level up your heroes. You're building a fort similar, I guess, to like Minecraft or something like that.
Not really.
I don't know if that would be a good example of
The
it.
closer, like, the fort building kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you ever got into or saw anything like Ark Survival Evolved.
Okay, I can see that.
You put up just, like, pre-built walls. Like,
Yeah.
wall with a door.
Right. Okay.
So then you can build, like, platforms, so it's also similar to, like, 7 Days to Die and
Yeah.
these other kind of, like, survival games. But this is,
It
like,
is third person.
these are, like, match-based.
Yeah, it's third person. The art style seems really similar to like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it
You guys
does
have ever
kinda
seen
look like
that? So I really like it.
It looks fun. I watched the Let's Play, and it does
I
look
really
like fun.
want to play it. I just don't want to pay for it. I don't know.
I don't want to, yeah, it looked fun.
Just give me a
The
demo.
mode I watched didn't look like $40 fun.
Right.
Well, it's funny. That's not the
problem.
one that pulls up when you hit bypass. It's like, oh, the premium We're Awesome pass is $60. I'm like, this is not a $60 game just yet in my book for
Right.
me personally. $40? Yeah, maybe.
I agree with that.
So we'll see. We'll get into it. Might
Mm.
play some a little bit.
You never know.
Maybe our opinions will change. Doesn't change the fact that it was dumb. You live and you learn.
Deceptive.
Constructor. In a town where anything goes. You can't rise to the top without taking a few others down. From dodgy deals to shifty tricks, do what you gotta do from the small town to... You know what? That is also basically how the description goes. I don't know what this game is about. I don't know what you do.
Kind
I
of
don't know
sound
what
like
kind of game
another
it is.
SimCity thing. You got that one. You got Avon Colony.
It
It's
kind
all
of looks
about
like the game
building a
that you would
city.
have on, like you'd play on Facebook. Like mob game or whatever.
Yeah, I got you. That doesn't look
There we go.
super entertaining.
It doesn't open like the actual PlayStation Store. What's happening? It opens like a Flickr gallery.
Oh,
What's
went to their
going on?
Flickr. That's annoying. Sometimes the links aren't. Maybe it's just because it's not even out yet. It's not out till the 28th, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, but I should still be able to go see it in the PlayStation
Yeah.
Store.
Well, it's stupid. What are you
Tweet at
gonna
Ryan
do?
Clements at
Oh.
Plum Cider on Twitter. Tell him that it's wrong.
I'll have to Google it. Infinite Mini Golf, PlayStation VR,
Ew.
never-ending mini golf experience. So that's fun.
Here's a game for your son coming up.
That's perfect.
It's spring again.
Ah,
An educational game for children ages 2 and up. It uses game mechanics to teach children about the seasons.
not bad. That sounds stupid.
Which
But
it's $60.
oh,
That artwork looks kind of cool.
I mean, it
Do
looks
you?
all right. It's not the
Well, I
worst thing
mean,
I've ever
sorry
seen.
for the next one. I moved on to a different game and just didn't say anything. Leaving Lindau. Lindau. It's Clara's last day on the island where she grew up. She needs to complete preparations, visit her favorite places say goodbyes. before leaving on a journey she may not return from. So it looks like a walking sim. I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah,
If I had to put money on it. Doesn't say in the description,
right.
so we may never know. Odds are we're never gonna know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Don't
click
get
on it.
excited.
Rugby
Rugby League Live 4.
Yes, the fourth version of Rugby League
Let
Live.
you make those deliberations yourself.
Yeah, I mean it'd be cool if I knew how to play rugby or
It's like
understood
football,
it at
but
all.
like more
Just
dude.
more violence. Yeah.
So a lot more testosterone. involved.
Smashbox Arena, an action-packed multiplayer VR game. Shootout battles of team versus team, power up versus power up. Combatants can play single party up with their friends, or face off against opponents across the globe. They didn't tell you what you're doing.
I feel like that voice was something you committed to before you realized how long the description
Yeah, I
was.
did indeed. I didn't even know if I was going to read the whole thing. I have no idea what it is. It sounds like a sports game of some
Yeah,
sort.
no idea. Tiny Tracks, PSVR, digital, obviously. Epic racing in a tiny world. Childhood imagination comes to life as tiny racers boost around your body, jump overhead, drift around bends inches from your face.
Wow. That
Sounds about zero fun. The initial idea of it sounded like a game I played a long time ago on PC. It's like a Hot Wheels racer. But
Okay.
you're racing on a Hot Wheels track like through a bedroom and
Oh,
like
yeah,
runs outside. It was kind of cool. I don't think that's what this is. It
I
looks-
don't think so
this
either.
sounds like a tech demo.
Hmm.
That sounds more like an augmented reality experience.
I could see that.
Like I don't want to see me involved in this at all.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm not overly attractive.
Especially when I'm looking at
There's a
myself in
few
the car.
VR games coming out. Nothing I'm interested in or anything, but weird. It's a weird week.
Yeah.
A lot of
Not a ton going out.
unknown stuff.
This is all just a pad time. So I mean, this is what we do.
Rick and Morty season 3 started,
Heyo,
so
for you Ricky Morty fans out there, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
if
is out on
you
PlayStation Video.
if you watch everything on PlayStation Video for whatever reason, I don't know. It's not
You
gonna
don't
make
have HBO, Netflix, Hulu,
right.
Showtime,
Literally anything else.
Betamax.
Betamax. Beta. Killing me. I actually want to see King Arthur Legend. of the
I do
Sword.
too, but I just
To be honest, the art style looked really nice.
I didn't go
wanna,
see. I didn't
just
go
don't
see
wanna
it in
pay
theaters.
money
Yeah,
for it.
exactly. If it comes on HBO, we'll watch it.
There you go. That's it.
We get new movies every Saturday. At least that's what the ads tell me when I go to watch Game of Thrones.
In theory, yeah.
That's the idea. And that's going to wrap it up for us for the show today, guys.
Boom.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sitting through the slow news weeks. Hopefully you
true.
enjoyed it. If there's stuff we missed, put it in the comments below. Maybe we'll hit it next week, or we'll just talk about it with you on Twitter. Again, follow us at IR Games on Twitter. Talk with us, tweet at us. We'll tweet out all the videos and links and all that good stuff. But until then, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Bye.